Jay Bills from Media Spotlight UK, kicking off the year right for 2024, and I'm here in Trench's Gym with the one and only Daley Perales in the building, owner of Trench's Gym. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, very good.
How does it feel to, firstly, because I mean, we talked about it many a times in being, having your own gym now. It's been a number of months since you've been here. Like, does it feel surreal still that you've been working hard for a long time as a coach to now have something that you can call your own? Like, how do you see it in your perspective? Like, does it still feel surreal to you?
No, I just think it's just one of those things that's meant to be, man. You know, when you work hard for things in your life and you're consistent, it's just something that's just meant to be and just feels right. Obviously, with my business partner, I always wanted my own gym. But when I met him years ago, he wanted his own gym. And I found this place actually when I was in America.
Okay.
On a Misfits in Texas, actually, when Kenny was fighting in Texas. My wife actually came across this place and sent it to me. As soon as I got back, I came and viewed it. And then I told my business partner, and we're like, let's do it. So literally, it was your wife and your business partner that got you to this location, and when you saw it, did you think it was just like, yeah, this is perfect for me? Yeah, no, it was my wife that got me to found it.
Yeah.
Then I went to see it.
Yeah.
And then after I seen it, I was like, this is perfect. Then I went and told my business partner, look at this place I found. You know what I mean? And he was like, perfect, let's do it.
Because I've seen like a lot of your stories leading up to building the gym, like, a lot of construction being made on it. As it was going along, like, did you see that everything was coming together and it was just like, right, this is how me and my business partner have envisioned this gym, and this is like perfect in every which way in terms of everything being set up the way it is?
Yeah. And it's still not finished. Well, it is finished, but along the way, there's still going to be things that we're going to want to add and to make it even more great. Some mirrors, maybe some games, you know what I mean, like a dartboard, so when.
Okay.
Yeah, because like when celebrities come here or influencers come here or the fighters in between their training, they're chilling out and we're bonding and stuff. It's good to have stuff like that around,
So I mean, like, obviously, the one of your main fighters, George Mitchell, he's got a fight coming up in February.
Yeah.
I mean, how's the training going for him in terms of preparing? Because should it be he win his next fight, that'll be an 8-0 record?
7-0. 7-0. But it's an important fight because when he wins this fight, it sets him up for his first minor title, which would be like hopefully the Commonwealth silver belt.
Okay.
So we're training hard for that. And he's fighting someone that's 13-0. He's had 13 wins, 1 draw, no losses.
Right.
So a step up. But, we like challenging ourselves. And that's what you're in the game for. You ain't in the game just to stick around fighting, people that you should be beating in your sleep. It's about, stepping up, being smart, and stepping up at the right times. Because fights are only going to get harder anyway. So you need to test yourself and get that experience early on as well.
The last time I saw you was at Misfits 12, and I saw Martin Foru as well. He was telling me that his hand is recovering still. Like, how's his progress on his hand at the moment? Like, is he fully into the training now from that perspective?
Yeah, it's very annoying because he's 10-0.
Yeah.
And he's going into we're going into the most important part of his career now, which is that 10 to 20. Where we start fighting for titles and getting good rankings and stuff like that. So it's very frustrating that he broke his hand in the last fight. And this is the reason why I try to educate not just my fighters in general, if they're prospects, not to hang around fighting journeymen for too long. Journeymen, I respect journeymen. We need journeymen.
Yeah.
They're tough, they're gritty, so I respect them a lot. But at the same time, if you stick around for too long, that's what could happen. Like his last fight, the guy wasn't throwing any punches.
Right.
And a result of Martin pounding his head for 6 rounds, he broke his hand.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. He had to have 2 surgeries, and he's recovering from that. So there's no time. Yeah, it's just got to. When it feels right, we can get back to it.
One thing that's always consistent is the dedication and the passion, especially that from a coach that's passionate, it shows through the fighters as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I keep my stable small as well, because I want the right kind of fighters, I want the right kind of team, and I want us to go on a journey and achieve greatness. So, yeah.
It's funny because you said on a story, correct me if I'm wrong, but you wanted to open it up to influencers to do some training here for like a 6-week period. How does that work? Is it like influencers of all kinds, or how does that work?
Of all kinds.
Right.
Yeah. The way boxing works, you don't just go and hunt down fighters and steal them from other coaches. And,
you don't want that.
No, and all that kind of stuff. They come to you. They see your work and they come to you. I turn down so many fighters every single day.
Right.
Influencers, pros, and it's not in a disrespect way, and it's not because, it's nothing like that. It's just, as I said, I like to keep my stable small because my time is worth more than money. I don't want to be one of those coaches training 10, 20 fighters just to pick up my percentage, just to, stack up my money.
Yeah.
I want to win, and I want them to get to the top. So that takes time. I need individual time with them. You know what I mean? So if I pack out my gym with training loads of fighters for fights, then that time is just going to diminish. So they're not going to get that time and one-on-one time with me. So that's why I keep it like that. And the way that training camp is more of a business thing. It's not for fighting. What I done is I just designed a 6-week training camp, because people message me from all around the world wanting to train with me and stuff like that, but I don't have the time to train people all the time in a one-to-one way. So I thought, let me 4 times a year do a 6-week training camp where I'm teaching the sweet science in detail from the ground up in just 6 weeks. An hour and a half sessions, where they can improve their boxing skills. And it's for anyone, from beginners to advanced people, any influencer. It's just a mix of anyone. Anyone can do it.
Because off the top of my head, I just remembered, didn't Small Spartan J come to your gym one time? Did he appear here?
Oh yeah, well, he knows us.
Right.
So, yeah, here anyone can come and use the gym.
Right.
We've got self-train here. Anyone can come and.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it wasn't like specific in terms of seeing you. It was
no.
You can come and train.
No. This gym's open for anyone. You know.
I saw the podcast that you went on the other day. Like I mean, from beginning to end, I was blown away. Like with all the stuff that you mentioned in terms of like being in foster homes and getting to a position where you are now, in terms of how mentally it's got you to this place.
Yeah.
There was even certain points that I was like, whoa, like I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you opened up a little bit more than usual, and I can guess for you it's pretty tough to open up, especially coming from the background that you've been in. Like, coming off the back of that podcast, how did you feel in terms of being able to open up more? Is this like something that you're looking to do maybe bit by bit, or do you still hold a lot to you?
Oh, I only scratched the surface in that podcast, and that was what, an hour and 15 minutes, I think, that podcast. Yeah. It's just, even though I've been through some bad stuff, I'm still... Like, I'm a people's pleaser. So even though, like, my parents, put me in that situation, I'm still mindful of them as well when I shouldn't be. Yeah. That's why I said in the podcast, I live that life and I should be able to feel free to speak my truth and inspire people, because that's what I want to do without feeling guilty about it. But there's still that little bit of me that holds back. But slowly, as you said, slowly, I will get there. And I'm doing a documentary anyway. So my Adrian, my videographer, he's filming everything over a long course of time, and he's going to get interviews with my foster parents, with people I know from my childhood and stuff. So it's going to be, that will be more insightful than just sitting on a podcast, and just because a podcast, they ask you they want to know different things, not just about my
One
life.
specific
you know?
thing in terms of your life.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it, and you know, the fact that, you know, it looked like you were about to cry. I'm thinking like, whoa, this is deep. Like there's some stuff that looks like that been poked at you and go like triggers a kind of guan. I'm like, wow, this is going to be something else. So I've got to talk about this character, this guy called what's it, Charly Watty. I mean, you know, he's been around the block as of late, and you know, he's even appeared here, and I mean, he's getting a bit brave, like as of late. You know, this so-called boxing expert. I mean, yeah, like what's going on with him?
Charly, Watty. No, I like comedy. You know, especially because of the life I've lived. You know, I like things that make me laugh and takes my mind away from stuff.
Me too.
And Charly Watty, that was improvised. I can imagine. I didn't sit there going, right, I'm going to call someone Charly.
No, because you must have just had a moment and just felt like...
I literally picked up the phone,
put
it on selfie,
right,
was messing around with Snapchat, thought, oh, this filter looks cool. Pressed record and just started chatting off the cuff. You know what I mean? And that's what came out.
And then obviously it's built up a little bit now. So, I mean, it could be like a new... I don't know. It could be like some more episodes coming on your Instagram from that.
Yeah, maybe.
But, I mean, on a serious note in terms of that, because obviously, like, you know, that character is describing like, oh, I'm the so-called boxing expert, because I know you're very passionate when it comes to the sport. And I guess you're expressing like, you know, keyboard warriors or, you know, giving people that, like of the influencer world understanding about like your...
It's education. Education. So even though it's like jokey keyboard warrior kind of way, there's actually seriousness to what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can tell.
You know what I mean? So even though I mess with, like that one yesterday I posted about if you get rocked and you get put on the floor,
right,
stay there on one knee until the count at 8. That's like serious vital information, because a lot of fighters, especially in the influencer world, a lot of fighters, they get rocked and go down and they try stand up straight away and their legs are gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you take that time to stay on one knee, compose yourself, breathe, look at the referee, wait until he counts to 8. You know what I mean? Because you've got time. And that's what people don't realise.
I think it's that the anxiety and just
it's
making
anxiety.
Sure you get there on time.
I know. And also it's the embarrassment of getting knocked down.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Someone that's experienced, they will take their time. You know what I mean? They won't rush and try and get up straight away. You know what I mean?
And those little bits, like, you know, all those finer details that you've applied, like, for your fighters, like, you know, especially, like, with Kenny and Deji that have only been doing it for so long, like, that's key elements to making sure that they could get up to a level of what your pro fighters can at this stage, I'm guessing. Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I'm trying to do in that space, is just educate. You know what I mean? I care.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
You are passionate.
Yeah,
I can see it in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking about passion and, you know, a lot of things going on, Anthony Taylor. Now, obviously, like, there's been a lot of build-up. I remember when we did our first set of interviews, I remember you saying that I think Anthony Taylor called you and King Kenny out, and I think he said that he would fight you both on the same night, sort of thing. Yeah. And it's been over a year. Yeah. And obviously now it's even built up even more, because, you know, when I spoke to him last, and I think you saw the clip that I was talking about, that he said after he's done with Gabriel Silva that he will whip your ass. And obviously for you, like, I saw the Misfits video where he was watching a video of you saying that you would avenge King Kenny to fight Anthony Taylor as a one-off. Like, where is everything around that at the moment? Because it looks like it's building up.
Well, the reason why it's a bit quiet at the moment, we've done the build-up for it now. Everyone knows we want to fight each other, but he's got other obligations first. Sure. So there's no point keep rambling on about Anthony Taylor if he's got 1 or 2 more fights before me. Yeah. Because when I fight him, it's going to be like in the summertime. But as I said, I've promised my wife, it's just one off. What's it going to be? Only 4 rounds, exhibition. Okay. Right? Let me put it this way.
Sure.
If you're 38 years of age, you still
know how to move. You still know how to fight. You know what I mean? You still get in there and spar here and there. And then some big mouth, you know, idiot from the influencer world calls you out and you're getting minimum 100 grand for 4 rounds. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Exactly. That's easy money for me.
Yeah.
To go and whoop his ass. You know what I mean?
Because, I mean, obviously his next fight as scheduled would be against Gabriel Silva, potentially on the Brazil card. It's not been announced yet, but it's looking like that's where it's going to as his next fight. You came down and you watched Gabriel Silva fight OJ Rose.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Gabriel Silva from, you know, a long lineage, especially from Anderson Silva, his
Yeah.
father, MMA legend. How do you make of Gabriel Silva as a fighter, and how do you reckon the dynamics of that fight for him and Anthony would go, especially knowing that, you know, Kenny was the last person that Anthony fought?
I think because Gabriel's got more experience, as in, because of his dad. So he's got knowledge of how to move around the ring, when to punch, when to hold, when to dictate, you know. Anthony Taylor has a way of getting to people and roughing them up because that's his only way of winning, because he doesn't really have boxing fundamentals. So his only way is to use his kind of MMA background to get on the inside and rough you up and hold you and stuff like that. But I think Gabriel should have enough to, you know, outbox him completely, you know.
And then, you know, what did you take away from, like, the fight with Kenny and Anthony Taylor? Because obviously you just mentioned about some of his tactics that got Anthony the win. How did you look at it?
I learned a lot from Anthony Taylor versus my brother. I learned how to give better hugs because I don't know how to hug people properly. So I learned how to you know, hug people and know it's going to be all right to have a hug for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and just relax. You know, and not be afraid to hug someone. So that's what I learned. So if this fight does happen with Anthony Taylor, I'm going to hug him back.
So it looked like it would be a hug fest according to what
these
you're
influencers
saying.
don't know how to hug. That's the problem.
Right.
Because they've got no experience. You know
so
what I mean?
you're wanting to give that hug fest back?
Yeah. In boxing terms, I know how to hug. In life, I don't know how to hug. So I learned 2 things. I learned in life, it's all right to hug for 10, 20 seconds. But in boxing terms, he won't be able to hug me for 10, 20 seconds like he hugged my brother for 10, 20 seconds. My brother don't have experience in boxing to know how to deal with those situations. If he tries to hug me like that, he's gonna brutally get beaten up on the inside.
I mean, speaking of King Kenny, how's he been doing? Because I know that, you know, past the fight, like, he took a little bit of time, you know, a little bit of time off, and you know, I'm hearing that he's training again.
Yeah, he's
working with the training.
He's fine. Obviously, you know, with the influencers, they have other obligations, you know, as well.
Obviously, him with the Beta Squad and content.
That's what people have to remember. Boxing ain't their first job.
Sure.
You know, so, but also Kenny was very active, you know, and had a lot of fights. So after his last fight, just said, don't even think about boxing for a while. Just completely rest. We've got Christmas coming up anyway.
Yeah.
Use that time just to rest your body. And then in the new year, we get back to it. And yeah, he's already back in the gym. He's dedicated anyway, because even hasn't been in the gym, he's been running and staying in shape and stuff like that. So it makes my life easier for when he gets back in the gym. So yeah, we're training for the next one. Hopefully some news soon. And yeah, can announce it to everyone.
Yeah, because I saw an interview just the other day that BJ Flores, who's training Tristan Ham, he will have his debut next week. But he was saying not to get ahead of ourselves, but he wants to get to, like, good fighters as quick as possible. Like, the names that came up was like Ryan Taylor, Joe Weller, and interestingly enough, King Kenny.
Okay, I've never heard of this guy. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, Tristan Ham, who BJ Flores trains, who's previously trained Jake Paul before.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, the, you know, influencers are coming.
I'll talk to Mams.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what's happening from that. I mean, also, I mean, how's Deji as well? I mean, it's been a while since we've seen him in the ring, and obviously, he, again, like you said, he's focusing on content. You know, he's had his time for himself.
He's busy. And I'll just wait to see what's happening with him. You know what I mean? And when he's going to fight and stuff.
Because I mean, obviously, I've seen that his recent video. He was saying that he's gonna document the journey and getting him to get the six pack. Because obviously, the bet of from KSI to
I should hope so. If you've got someone trying to give you free 1 million to say you can never get a six pack for 1 million.
I mean, for 1 million, I would.
That's going to be easy work for me.
So would you intensify the training even further just to get him to that, or would it
No.
No.
It's nothing to do with the training. It's to do with what you do when you step outside the gym. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong in this gym. When you come to trenches, there's nothing wrong going on here. You're going to get worked. It's what you do when you step outside the gym.
Do you reckon, like with Deji, that the next time we see him would be at the next potential pay-per-view event? Because a lot of all the events that we covered so far, he's done all the pay-per-views.
Hopefully, yeah.
So, I mean, just to touch on a few other things as well. Like, did you get to see Jake Paul's last fight and then KSI spar with ISO Speed? Did you see those going on?
Yeah, Jake Paul. As I said, I like the way, out of anyone in influencer boxing, I like the way he's going about things, because even though he's being very smart with the opponents he picks, at least he wants to actually become a good boxer. Like you can see it by the way he trains, the way he talks about boxing, by starting that most valuable promotions and putting on real pro fighters, doing events that he's not even on, still giving events to prospects and stuff that he's signing. So yeah, I love the way he's doing things. Good finish, a little touch, uppercut to send it down
for the
count. So he's doing well. He's doing well. So I like that. And then Speed and KSI.
I know that was for charity. I know that was just a spar. I know that wasn't meant to be
that's the
taken
only good thing.
seriously, yeah.
That's the only good thing about it, that it was for charity. So you can't argue with that.
Yeah. Did you see potential in Speed that he could be a good boxer with the right training, like in the future? Do you see that could work for him? Like, does he have like any? The
yeah, but I don't know. I don't think he's. I think he's too much of a comedian to take boxing seriously. He's funny.
I mean, the fact that he even stepped up to even
exactly. KSI, exactly. You've got to give him props, and that is for charity. That's what I'm saying. So either way, it's for charity. It's for a good cause.
See, it's been 5 years. We've been waiting for KSI versus Jake Paul. Like, it still hasn't happened. Obviously that the spar that KSI's had with Speed, and obviously Jake Paul's last fight with Andre August. I think there's another fight that's been announced for Jake Paul. I'm not too sure. But at this stage, do you ever see Jake Paul versus KSI happening? And if so, at this current stage now, who do you see winning in your view? Like, based on everything you've seen in the past year and a half?
I don't think, that's going to happen anytime soon. There's going to have to be some big money involved. Big money involved where they both agree to everything. Because obviously you're dealing with egos as well. I deserve this. I'm the A side. No, you're not the A. I'm the A side. So there's loads of things. If they was to fight, I think fundamentally Jake Paul is obviously better. But because Jake Paul is still inexperienced in the sense of when you look at real pro fighters that have done it from kids, I still reckon KSI could give him trouble because of KSI's awkward, unorthodox style. You know what I mean? Look at how Tommy Fury found it hard to deal with. So I think, and Tommy Fury is better than Jake Paul. He beat Jake Paul pretty convincingly. So I reckon, it'd be an interesting one. KSI could give Jake Paul trouble because of the awkwardness, I reckon. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I'm hoping that it even happens, but it's getting to the point now where, because like you said, egos are happening. There's so much that's, cut weight down, bring weight up, and people's teams trying to get deals agreed, and it's not really happening. So it's almost like what with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Like, we're still waiting for that. I mean, how long has it been in the making in terms of that for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? We're still yet to see it.
Exactly, it's been years.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Anthony Joshua, I wanted to get your take on, because it's just recently been announced that, as confirmed, Francis Ngannou will take on Anthony Joshua. How do you see that fight going? Because obviously Francis' stock has gone up ever since his fight with Tyson Fury. You know, coming from the MMA world, and it's already predicted that from Forbes that, you know, he's expected to earn at least $20 million. That's just
I think
before
Ngannou
sponsorships.
Yeah, Ngannou 20, Joshua 50.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I think it'd be we're getting to the stage now where it's not just about belts anymore in boxing. It's about the most money you can make, and if we call it prize fighting.
Right.
You know, it's about the name. You know, Mayweather, when he started getting towards the end of his career, what was he doing? He wasn't looking for belts.
No.
He was fighting people that's going to generate the money. That's why he fought.
Cash, yeah.
That's why he fought Conor McGregor. And that's why he's carried on doing all these exhibitions. Mayweather as well. He even fought Deji. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't be mad or argue that they're doing this. You know what I mean? A lot of boxing purists will argue or be annoyed why are they doing it, but I obviously understand it from a money point of view and because of the magnitude of the names that are involved. It is risky not for Ngannou, because Ngannou's only had one fight in boxing, so if he loses, I'm inexperienced.
But AJ's got a lot to lose.
Yeah, because
do you reckon he's got a lot to lose at this point in his career?
Well, when a boxer fights an MMA fighter, the boxer has the whole boxing world in their hands, being, do not let an MMA fighter beat you.
Right.
So in that sense, yes, it's a risk, because for money, it's great. But it's a risk. And Ngannou's tough. He's got a good chin and he can bang. This fight, for me, is more interesting because Fury is a boxer and a mover and keeps moving. Joshua don't fight like Fury.
No. I was going to ask about styles, yeah.
Joshua is going to get hit at one point. You know what I mean? So if he can drop Fury, Joshua's been down multiple times. So it'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, because how would it be different for Ngannou with the dynamics of him fighting Fury against Joshua? Like, how do you think he would have to change his game?
I think he'll stay with the same game plan where he'd just sit off like he was doing against Fury. It was harder for Fury to engage because Fury's a boxer. He weren't falling for it. He's like a boxer. He boxes on the back foot, behind feints and all that. So the openings weren't there all the time. But when it did, look what happened. He dropped Fury. Joshua's going to come to Ngannou. He ain't going to box him around for 12 rounds. He's gonna be there. So it's just, if Ngannou lands, it's going to be an interesting fight, I reckon.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously in an MMA world, MMA fighters that are coming into the boxing world, even finding that, boxing earns more money than MMA, because, for this fight with Joshua, he'll earn way more money than, I think his last fight, it was reported it was like 600,000 in MMA.
Yeah.
And obviously for 20 mil potentially for this fight, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you inviting me down here. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm glad that, the passion is continuously there, like you invested in your fighters, and it'd be interesting to see whenever it comes that, for your fight against Anthony Taylor, how that goes, because, this will be the first time, like, for the modern audience, like, we've known your boxing history, but for those that may not have, known about your history, it'd be interesting to see for them how you get in the ring.
Trust me, as I said, it's my one and only fight. It's a one-off. I'm going to have all my team there. You know what I mean? They're all going to walk me out. I'm going to put on a show, the press conferences. He's going to know how a press conference is meant to be and how you're meant to conduct yourself. He's going to meet his match in every department, press conferences, promoting the fight, in the ring. I'm gonna take him to school, back to school. Yeah.
And how will the fighters, how will your fighters still be able to train, knowing that if you commit to a full camp, how will the business still run, knowing that you got to step away?
There's 24 hours in a day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Have you ever watched that motivation speech he done?
Yes.
Yeah. He was saying, how much do you sleep a day? how much do you work a day, how many hours you got left. So there's time. Reese there that works with my fighters, he's going to have to make a little hour slot somewhere, even if you have to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning.
He's like, okay, we'll work it out somewhere or another.
You know what I mean? We'll figure out, but it'd be fun because it'd be a good experience for the whole team. You know?
Yeah. And is there any last bits that you want to, talk about? Anything else coming up for you that you want to tell you?
No, just George is fighting. So on February the 3rd, watch out for that. Kenny's back in action soon. Deji hopefully back in action soon. And last but not least, follow Trenches.
Yes.
Yeah, go to the Instagram page or Trenches, boxing.london. Go on our website, look at everything we have to offer. We have everything, something for everyone. Don't be shy. We're real boxing people, but we're boxing people for everyone, for everyone that's involved. So yeah, come down, pass through, check us out, have a chat with us.
I'll put the details in the description so you can find all the details for where Trenches are. Really lovely boxing gym, and everyone seems to be like on a nice vibe being here. So, Daley, it's always a pleasure to see you, always a pleasure to chat with you, and I wish you all the best for what goes on in the future for you.
Thank you, man.